Oh,
Wow. All right. Very good. All right. So at this point, I'm going to hand this over to Emery. So he has a few minutes to kind of just make sure that we're talking about pretty much, again, mostly home based, but we just want to make sure from a commercial side, if you're on the call, if you have any questions or anything about licensure or additional regulations, you've got that opportunity to also ask questions. Okay. Emery,
Okay.
I will give it to you.
All
Do you
right.
want to sit down?
No, I'm good.
You
I'm
sure?
good.
Okay.
So, good morning, everyone. I'm not sure whoever was out there and everything else, but just like Kathy was mentioning, we are not here as the health department to go ahead and to close anybody down, to shut anybody down, or to shame anybody or anything else. We're here to help. Here to educate. Hopefully you've seen that as the years have gone by. It's more education more than anything else. That's our philosophy now at the health department. It's education, and that use every inspector, their knowledge, what they have with the food code, and that their knowledge of being out in the industry. Just so if anybody doesn't know, I have 23 years in the industry itself. I'm a chef by trade and everything else, and that's so I've come onto the dark side and now working in that with the health department and trying to educate people and everything else too. So I get it. There's so many different rules and regulations, and unfortunately, if you haven't heard, the new food code does come out, and and even I'm looking at the food code and the new food code, and it's 100% different. Even though they only say there's 135 new changes, the whole food code is completely different than what it used to be, and that so there's a lot of education. So we will educate everybody as the time comes, and that with that new food code. But right now, we're still following off the old food code, so don't worry. They have to make changes or anything else, and that. But so the biggest thing is that we always want to make sure that everyone always has hand washing stations at their tent setups or their truck setups or anything else like that. So hand washing is very important. Guarding the food is very important. So I know in the past we've had issues where people will go ahead and put pastries out in front and just they're open and there's no coverings to them or anything else. That stuff needs to be put to the back or it needs to be prepackaged or whatever. And that, as far as that is concerned, there are a lot of other issues. Make sure you always have your thermometers with you, and that because we will ask those questions if you do have thermometers. If you are you using coolers to refrigerate? Thermometers have to be inside the coolers, and that with the ice and things like that. And also to remember that your coolers have to be self-draining, and they cannot be self-draining to the ground. They have to be self-draining to a waste container that you either take with you or you have some agreement that where it can be dumped properly. Okay, so not dumping on the ground is not proper, and not dumping into a drain line is not proper. Okay, those are what some of you guys would have your own commissary where you take them back to your commissary and would dispose of that wastewater in that fashion. Um, so there's a lot of different things. Hand sanitizer, or not hand sanitizers, but sanitizers are important. So make sure you have your sanitizer all set up. If you're using chlorine or you're using the quat, and that make sure you have your strips with you at all times. And those are just some of the really basic things that we really look over. And that if we see a lot of that stuff, and that we just kind of the rest of the stuff follows in line. Make sure all your food items, your food containers, they're all 6 inches off the ground. They cannot be sitting on the ground or anything else that during the event or anything else like that. If you are in the grassy area, just because you don't have the opportunity to be on the concrete, you have to remember you do have to have a floor on that, and a floor is as simple as a tarp. Okay, so you have to have that as well. You have to have an overhang, and that if you're cooking food, serving food, or anything else, there has to be some type of tent over the top of you as well. Okay. So again, those are some of the very basic stuff and things like that. Um, we talk to certain vendors on different things, especially those who do coffee or anything else. We always ask that question: are you using creamers, non-dairy creamers, whole real milk, or half and half and things like that? Once you say yes to those questions that you're using real cream and things like that, you do have to get a permit. If you use the non-dairy stuff, you're fine. And then the other question would be is that, are you serving iced coffee? And once you say, yes, I am doing iced coffee, then you do have to get a permit because ice is considered food, okay? And we have to regulate that as well, okay? Um, I'm not sure if there's what else that you would like me to go over. If there's questions or anything else, please yell out. And that, I'd be more than happy to answer those questions or anything. If you do have any questions or anything that I didn't answer for you or anything else, you always can contact me
Yep.
at my email address, which is Emery, Emery .Kostelnik, Kostelnik, at portico.org. Okay, so you can address all those questions to me. If you want to go ahead and put the email up and everything else, that's fantastic. You can do that.
Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll resend it out. So one of the things we want to make sure about, and this is one of the reasons we wanted to host this with Emery, and we'll probably have at least one more of these calls. So in case you want to come back, if you think of questions or, we want to make sure that all of our food vendors have that opportunity to have this one-on-one with Emery, is we want to ensure that we have our health department permits before the market starts, obviously. There is a 6-month permit for $150. A full year is $300. That is for all of Porter County. Per event, it's $20. If you're less than a week out, it's $30. And if it's the actual within 24 hours or the day of, it's $40. So we'll make sure that you have Emery's contact information so that you can reach him directly. It is best that you probably actually speak to him versus Kelly, Mara, myself, Michelle, and Rachel. We'll be more than happy to try to help as much as possible, but we want to make sure that you have that direct relationship with the Porter County Health Department.
And we've also tried to make it easy for you guys also too. So in the past, you guys would have to go ahead and fill out and send it, and everything's online now. Okay, so you can go to the Porter County Health Department website, click on the Foods Division, and that'll take you to our webpage. And then from that webpage, if you scroll down a little bit, it will talk about temporary events, and then you can click on there and fill out all the information. And that's probably one of the biggest thing is because we'll get phone calls saying, well, it won't let me go through.
Yeah.
You have to fill out everything on the application. Even if it doesn't apply to you, it has to have some type of an answer in it, even if it's an NA, non-applicable, and that in there. And the dates are very tricky. The dates have to be full dates. So like this is April, so it has to be 04, and that, and then the numbers all have to be, and then the year has to be 4 digits. And then down at the very bottom at that application, there is a blue box that does say upload, and that upload is for your ServSafe certificate, and that so that we just make sure that we're all up to date with your ServSafe and that certificates if you are required one. Some are not required, some are, and those are required, of course, of those people that are serving potentially hazardous foods, proteins, and things like that. And if you're not one of those that do not require, and that, so what we ask is that send us a picture of your menu, a picture of your dog, family, whatever, just so it allows you to go to into your final page so that you can go ahead and pay online and that. And then if you have not dealt with us before and everything else and things like that, we do not send out by mail, and that snail mail, we do not send out by snail mail your permit, and that we send it out by email. Okay, so this way it comes out to you, you can print it, you can have it with you, or you can have it on your phone. Okay, and that's so when the inspector asks to see your permit, it's either posted, and that we love to see them posted. It makes it so much easier. Plus, everybody knows that you're inspected by the health department, and you've gone through the health department, or you have it on your phone so that when we do require it and everything else, so that we can go ahead and check through real quickly.
Good. I was going to ask that question, if we should have them posted. And then remember, obviously, as you receive your information, you want to make sure that both myself and Kelly have received a copy of your permit, just so that we have it online. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and email. There's Kel. She's over here hiding. Yeah. There we go. Sorry. So just make sure that both of us have seen it. If you don't have Kelly's email address, I will send this out again along with Emery's contact information and a couple of the things that we just recapped here, so that you'll have it. And I'll make sure that Kelly's email address is also included. So if you have any questions, again, the staff has had an opportunity to meet with Emery. So we're we know kind of the same things that he's just told us. We took some notes. We're going to put up a little cheat sheet, so we'll send you some information and his contact. Again, the best way though is to contact him directly. This is the person you'll be working with. We just want to ensure that you're informed and we're not having any surprises in the middle of the market. I know from an enjoyable standpoint, that's the last thing you want to deal with. Certainly it's the last thing I want to deal with, is being pulled over by Emery and saying, hey, we've got a problem. So let's just make sure that we've got all of this done beforehand. And it's, an easy communication. And if you're having struggles or you're having some issues or you still have questions, again, more than happy to get on a call, directly with you and with Emery if there's something, in particular that we need to address.
And that's one of the nice things is also too, is that I've been in this role as the person in charge of all temporary events, and that for the last few years now. And that, so you're talking to one person, you're not talking to multiple people at the staff, unless you can't get a hold of me and you talk to somebody else. But most of the times, if you just leave me a message, send me an email, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I still do have other responsibilities. I'm out on the field yet. I'm still doing inspections at other restaurants and things that as well too. So I'll get back to you as quick as I can. The easiest way though, again, is if you use that email comes straight to my phone. And that if it's something urgent that I need to get back to you right away, I will get back to you as soon as I can. And then as soon as I have availability of phone. I don't like to use my phone as a contact or to call or anything else because that's my personal cell phone. But as soon as I can get to a phone, I will call you back or email you as quickly as I can.
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions? Anything in particular that we are starting to address or that you may want to ask Emery? If not, that's fine too. Again, we wanted to just give that ability. Mara, are you the one with the question? Hand up.
Hi, Deanna from Geeky Goodies.
Hey, Deanna, how are you?
Hello, kind. Just a quick question. Want to make sure we pre-package everything and it's all shelf stable. Just want to make sure that we're all still good.
Yep. As what you call it, yeah. As long as you're not sampling or anything else, yeah, there's not going to be much that we would require from you or anything else, and that you're all doing that at your establishment and that. So yeah.
So one of the things I emailed out, and I'll probably have to contact everybody just to make sure, we want to identify commercial kitchens versus home-based, because home-based is really where it's going to be a little more there's a little bit more, regulation around it that we want to make sure that we're addressing. If you're commercial, clearly that already gives you a lot of clearance in understanding the regulations and working with the health department. So.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else have any questions? Before everybody jumps off, otherwise,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that South Shore Oven Works has one.
yeah.
Can you unmute yourself? If not, I can try to help.
So while we're waiting for,
Hi,
hey,
this is Jim with South
hey,
Shore
Jim,
Oven.
how are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good. It's good to see you.
You too, I'm excited for the season.
Yes, we are too. What's up?
I have a question because, we buy a lot of our produce for some of our pizza specials when we get there to the market. My question is specifically like what products from some of the home-based outfits like honey, things like that. I know that we're allowed to buy those as a consumer, but can I buy some of the local honey there from the market and use it on a pizza special, or is that, how does that work?
No, that's 100% fine for you to use and everything else. Yeah, I mean the honey producers here and everything else, a lot of them are registered with us and things like that. And that's so yeah, that's not a problem or anything. Yeah, so pretty much if you want to use a lot of the items that you're on the day of, probably about the only thing that'd be a little bit difficult, like if you decided to buy fresh vegetables, where are you going to wash those at, and that because you're not going to have that facility to do that on your mobile unit or anything else, or on your tent setup or anything. And
Right.
so that would probably be a little bit on the harder side, but yeah, if you wanted to purchase honey, that's 100% fine to use and everything else on your products. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. You're
Perfect.
welcome.
Great. Before we lose everybody, if you could do me a favor and go ahead and type in the messages, just who's here, just so that we can track it, because we're going to try to do this again with Emery, and I don't want to have to kind of chase you. This is mandatory. This is the first time that we have asked our food vendors to have this opportunity to meet with the health department. We just feel like it's very important, not only from the rules and regulations that are currently going on, but obviously as new ones are going to be happening later this year, we want to make sure that we're touching base with everybody. So yeah, thanks. I appreciate everybody just putting their information, and then I just have a kind of a roll call. And then tomorrow, if you haven't replied to me already, based on this call, if you could just reply to my email and just say commercial or home-based food, just so that we know we're going to just track that. So again, we want to make sure from a home-based, there are some different rules and regulations. We want to make sure that everybody has an understanding of what home-based regulations are, which are obviously much different than, not different, but well, a little more stringent maybe.
So another thing also, to just as I'm seeing the people on the list, I know a lot of you have not probably opened up yet or anything, your facilities or your tents or your mobile units and things like that. So you may want to go ahead, instead of waiting till the day of or the week before, you might want to start checking your items, making sure that all your equipment's working properly and everything else. You just don't want to get here and like, oh, it's not working. I don't know, what am I going to do now, and everything else and things like that. Especially if you're using refrigerated units, okay? And to be very careful on those refrigerated units. There are some that you just buy the ones that you use at home, especially when we get into these hot days in July and August. They will not keep up the temperature and a lot of times we will look at the items that are in there and we'll ask you to either remove them, toss them out, or whatever, and that because they are not staying in temperature and that. So just be very careful on how you're keeping those items cold and that. And just be aware of a lot of your items. I mean, if you're making quiche and it's cold when you brought it from your establishment, you brought it back over here, it has to stay cold. It cannot be in a display case and stay in warm weather or in warm temperatures or anything else. It has to be refrigerated and stay refrigerated. And just remember what your temperature danger zones are. So temperatures from 41 to 135 degrees, we got to keep everything either below 41 or above 135 degrees, and that at all times. And always remember, when you're reheating anything, reheating is always having to reheat up to 165 degrees for at least a minimum of 10 seconds, and that before you can go ahead and start serving again. Okay, so just as some basic things that you guys all should know, and that all of you guys do know, but sometimes just an easy reminder.
Yep.
It's just one of those things. So.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody have any other questions?
I do have one quick question on David
Hey.
here, Black Sheep
Hi,
Makery.
David.
Hey
How
y'all.
are you?
Good. Just a question on like self-draining coolers. We have one set up kind of just on some pieces of wood, and it drains into like a little baking pan that we dump into our normal like liquid waste bucket. Do you have any suggestions or ideas of an alternative that would maybe be more stable or more like professional looking?
Yeah. So there are, and not say that there are out there that you can buy or anything else, but basically what you're doing is putting it up on either 2x4s or 4x4s wood, and then connecting the hose to, and that allows the drain to something down below, and that's basically that we've been seeing all over. And it's mostly just what people have been making and improvising and how they're making it and everything else. So I wish there was a better answer or there's an easier way to go ahead and do that. That's one of the things that have been addressed a lot lately in the food code, and that is that the water and the ice that you're using, especially if you're using it to make or for drinks or anything else, has to be self-draining. It's just like if you were in a brick and mortar, they have to be self-draining also too. That ice has to be constantly draining, and so it's not sitting in its own water. But yeah, that would be the best way that way you're doing it now. I wish I could give you a better answer. There's nothing out there right now that's being made. Maybe it might be an idea to create something, a market, sell. I don't know. And maybe there might be a good market for that.
I can
Yeah,
tell
I'm
you, I can tell you what I did. I put a fitting on the bottom of the cooler and then lined up where it was on the table, and I drilled a hole in the table so that the tabletop cooler sits right down flat on it, and a tube runs down into a jug, captures the water.
Yeah, 5 gallon bucket or was it a 5 gallon? Yeah, 5 gallon buckets and that, and then put a lid on it. Yep, that's fine too. Yep.
I like that idea. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
And that's what's nice about this too, because we can shoot ideas, and then somebody else have a better idea of how to put things together. I mean, just things that we've seen out, when we were out and everything else. That's what we see, but other people have come up with some great ideas. So that's always a good thing to do. Yep.
For sure. That's the $1 million market idea. I might need another. book.
Yeah. Who's the engineer? Who's putting this together? Perfect. Hey, Rich, how are you?
Hey, I've been on the call here. Hi, I've been on the call. I finally figured out how to get your picture. Okay.
No problem. We catered it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, anyway,
any-
can I just say
Yeah.
something? You there? I just got back from overseas, and let me tell you, we have a great appreciation for the health department. I was in Marrakesh, walking through the Medina, through the foods where chickens, eggs, beef just hanging with flies flying around, and I wouldn't touch any of that stuff. But I think, we should appreciate what everybody does at the health department to keep us safe too. So I just wanted to pass that along.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
Emory has been wonderful to work with. I'm sure some of you have have met him from multiple markets or other events, or even from, past times here. I've got to say, I've worked with multiple farmer or health departments in different counties and in different states. Emory's definitely been one of the most approachable, and I really love the philosophy again of teaching people, not finding them, not try to making anybody feel bad or shutting anybody down, but really trying to teach people so that the next time they're more successful. And so I think from that perspective, it's great, because as I said, I've worked with others that have said, person's out the door. I mean, unless it's egregious, which we know our vendors are wonderful. So, any other questions? Anything else that we can answer at this point? I want to be careful of everybody's time. Mara, do you have a question?
I do. So
I see a hand up.
if no one else has any other questions regarding health department, does anyone have any other questions in general regarding the market? I don't know if we have any newer. I see some phone numbers that I haven't had a chance to figure out who's who, but if there's any other newer people, I just wanted you guys to have that opportunity to ask any question. Weights are super important. We've learned that, so please bring weights.
Yeah, and we're going to have one more. We'll have one more of these calls for anybody that wasn't able to make this call, and then the week leading up to the market, we are going to do a vendor meeting so that anybody new, anybody returning, anybody have any general questions, and we'll go through some of the general just requirements again leading up to the market week. But is there anything anybody has right now?
And just another nice thing, Kathy, just so that you guys do know, we also do this for the Porter County Fair, and that we have this meeting with the vendors and everything else. So this is nothing new or anything else, but this is a great opportunity for you guys to ask these questions, to make sure that you're on board with everything, and it makes it a much smoother event. And that when you come in and everything's there, we don't have to ask a lot of questions. We can go through things and everything else, and get out of your way as quickly as possible. Because the biggest thing is you guys are making money.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure you keep making your money, and you're keeping the public safe.
Absolutely. All right. Do you have any other questions at this point?
I did want to quickly show you guys just one thing on our website that you guys are I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Kathy, kind of, she's your face of the market. We love
It's
having
okay.
her. Welcome
We're all
back,
the face.
Kathy, for the year. So my name's Maura. I believe I probably know most of you. If not, my name's Maura Mundell. I run the chamber organization as a whole. So I'm the president. I've been here for 10 years. So like I said, I try to get around. Sometimes I'm the weirdo that like hangs out by your stall and just asks you questions without like identifying myself, just because I just kind of want to know how it's going. I want to see your product. I just kind of want to be part of it too, but without being in your guys' way. So I will try to be there as much as possible. Obviously, Kelly, myself, and Kathy work very closely to make sure you guys are happy, everything's running smoothly, and we're all here in this together. So if you guys have any questions, whether it's in general for your business, that's what our business organization is here for. We have over 400 members. So I'd love to put you in contact if you have additional questions in growth and market and demographics. We have partnerships with the Indiana Small Business Development Center and SCORE. There's mentors, all free services. And you guys are members of ours as soon as you're accepted into the market. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, just because I want to make sure that your information is accurate and that you guys realize that we are sharing information. So when people call our office, it's easy for us to say, hey, here's our website here. Oh yeah, you saw this person last Saturday. Do you have an idea what their name is? And then we can put them in contact with you to then obviously do more business with you later. So I'm going to share my screen.
Really quickly, I want to be respectful of Emery's time. So you said you had something else. Does anybody have any other questions for Emery right now for the health department? Otherwise, we move on to this part of the conversation. Again, we'll email out if there is Emery's information. And I know Mara just put up his email address on the chat, but we'll send something out. Please reply to me and make sure Kelly and I know if you are commercial or home-based. And again, we'll do one more of these at least before the market starts, so that, again, you can always join again if you're not able to touch base with Emery or you just have a basic question. So, Emery, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
All
it.
right. Yeah.
I'll catch out.
Thank
with
you, Emery.
next- when we
Sounds
get
good.
to it
Thank
next
you.
time.
Thanks,
Okay.
Emery. You're the
Thanks.
best.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.
So you guys should all be seeing our Duneland Chamber website. So dunelandchamber.org is
It's
our
black.
main web.
It's just blacked out right now.
Uh-oh. Well, fine. Let me try this again. Can you see my emails?
There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we
I
can.
don't want you to see my emails. I want you to see the website. So can you see the
We're not
website now?
looking.
Huh?
Yes.
No.
Yay.
We
No,
still,
okay,
we
good.
still emails.
Oh. No?
Nope, still email.
I don't want you to see my email.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try this one more time. If not, I'm
Okay.
just gonna tell you. Third time's a charm.
Yep.
There we go. Yay.
Beautiful. Okay, so if you're on the homepage of our website, you should be able to see, like, this is where you go, dunelandchamber.org has all of our great information for everything chamber. This is where over here, you guys have gone on, you guys will see, any updates and how to fill out applications. We do photos. Obviously, Kathy has been on top of trying to grab more photos so that way we could always add to this and our sponsors
Absolutely.
for the year. So what I wanted to show you on the chamber side is if you go to our business directory, this is where you guys have an opportunity to enhance your profile with us. So I'll just go, I think I saw Bows was here.
Yeah.
So on our website, we've added logos and essentially quick hit information that actually might need to be updated or now is updated with your guys's new spot, I'm hoping. But then that way, any of the customers that find you through us obviously can still then get in contact with you because we do get a lot of questions that come through our
Yes.
office. And if they click here, then it goes to a landing page. So some of you guys who might not have websites in particular could utilize this as a website. You can add photos. Wow, you guys did a really good job of adding stuff. There's a
Yay,
video
Mouse.
capability. If you do have something on YouTube, you can put your hours, directions, map, and people can get in contact with you by email. So again, just a little quick thing. If you guys have questions, the way you do this is by logging into our website, which you could see at that top right corner is your login capability. You could also pay your bills that way, or click the link that Kelly sends you on a regular basis. So I just wanted to quickly share that with you guys, just so you know that that opportunity is there. We're willing to help you through that process should you guys want to utilize it anymore. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? Kelly, anything? No? Okay. So again, thank you very much for coming today. We will send out Emery's information. Again, I know we have the recording, so we'll keep that. Again, anybody here, if you call the chamber office, can help you and direct you to Emery. I'm available by my phone or by email. We'll probably have at least one more of these, since I know there's a lot of food vendors that are missing from this call, and I'm sorry that it only was in less than 24 hours. So thank you very much for everybody's time today. And then the week of the 25th, coming into the market week, as soon as I get back from Mexico, we will have a new and returning vendor meeting. If you'd like to join us, again, it's just updates on what's going on, any questions. So just give a quick touch point before we head into May 4th. May the 4th be with you. All right. Okay.
And
And
happy
also with
21st
you.
birthday to us.
Nobody's laughing. Come on. All right.
I clapped, I
Anybody need
clapped.
Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else need anything? Any other questions? Anything else we can answer at this time? Going once, going twice? Guys, thank you very much for taking the time. I know it's a rainy Thursday morning. So thank you very much for taking this. And we're going to see you guys in 3 weeks.
Not me, but yeah.
3 weeks. Wow. Time is